What's going on, everybody? This is the North Shore 9 podcast presented by FanDuel. You're watching NS9 Live. I'm Jim. With me tonight is Tyler. How are you doing?
You know, I might be battling some internet issues here tonight. We just had a tornado warning roll right through, a little bit of hail, but we're still here. We're still here, both of us.
There you go. The two of us, we're here. No DiNardo today. Like Gigamosher says here, DiNardo's the DiNardi curse, Tyler. Which, to be fair, DiNardo did not play Bucko Mike's voicemail last week. That contributed to the Pirates dropping 2-3 to the Rockies. But nice little bounce back series. We're at the midway point, so we got a lot to talk about today. Nice bounce back series against the Mariners. They take 2 out of 3. We're 41-40 at the halfway point.
Yeah, I feel like a couple times throughout this year, or at least not even this year, just the last 2 weeks, I feel like I've said it's about to get bad. And to their credit, they've bounced back and been able to kind of tread water here. Getting yourself a game over 500 at the midway point, I mean, they're still in it.
They're definitely still in it. Again, 41-40. They are, I think it's 9.5 back in the division. So the division's pretty far out of reach. The Brewers kind of just running away with this thing. The Brewers are 20 games over 500 right now. Just stupid stuff. But when it comes to the wild card, the Pirates are, they're right in the mix of it. They're right in the thick of it. 2.5 games behind the Cubs right now for that final wild card spot. So, yeah, I mean, there seems to be, the Phillies, Cardinals, Cubs, Padres, Marlins, Diamondbacks, Pirates, Nationals. Those are kind of the teams that are still hovering right there in the mix about midway through. You got the Reds who are a little bit farther back, the Mets, Giants, Rockies kind of rounding out the rest of the NL. But yeah, we're halfway through the year. They're 41-40. They're on pace to win 82 games, which at least if they can continue this pace until the deadline, it at least puts them in a position where they can add a few things. And if you add the right things, maybe that propels you to the postseason. They're certainly still in the mix.
For sure. I mean, I guess that's all you can kind of ask for at this point, is still being in the mix, especially with kind of the injuries they've dealt with. You lose Connor Griffin and O'Neal Cruz. That's going to hurt anybody, especially this ball club. So, I mean, all things considered, it hasn't been the prettiest of 81 games, but I don't know if it's that much different than where we expected them to be. I think we kind of figured they were around the 500 team, if plus or minus maybe 4 or 5 games. So yeah, they're probably right where we expect them to be.
Yeah, they're not too far off. And I think what's frustrating, and we'll get to it this episode, is you kind of get the sense that they could be in a much better position if some things just trickled the right way here and there. So like we've got a really big show today. Want to talk about a lot of things. Again, because it's the midway point, we want to address a few things. We want to hand out some midseason grades. So we're going to do that first. We're going to go through the different position groups. We're going to go through the coaching staff. We're going to go through the front office. We're going to do all that. And we're going to hand out some midseason grades to those guys. After that, we're going to be joined by Alex Stumpf at around 20 after or so, as long as we get through this first segment in the time that we have allotted for it. And we're going to dive into, because one thing that it was kind of made apparent, and if you've been watching games all year, you know it and you see it, but this team they suck at ABS challenges. Like, God, are they awful. So we're going to dive a little bit more into that. Like, how bad do they suck at it? And we're bringing Alex in because he's around the team. He's in the clubhouse. So maybe offer a little bit of insight in terms of like, what does this team even have a strategy when it comes to ABS? What does it look like? What are players saying? What are coaches saying? So we're bringing Alex in to talk a little bit about that. Then we're going to revisit, before the season started, we did predictions, right? And so we're gonna look and see who's on pace right now, whose predictions look bad, whose predictions look good. So we're gonna take a look at those, and then also there was some CBA news that came out today where Major League Baseball and the Players Association met. Major League Baseball released a few more things that they're proposing in the next CBA, MLBPA. They came back with remarks on it, so we're gonna talk about that too. So we got a jam packed episode for you. Um, so let's just dive right in, Tyler.
Let's do it.
All right, so we are at the midway point. We're gonna go through each position group. Oh yeah, and I forgot. Yeah, the USA plays tonight, 10 o'clock. So
Yeah,
once we're done here,
soccer's not real.
yeah, we got World Cup. It's a meaningless game. The men's national team has already clinched first place and the one seed in their group, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, that's it. That's at 10 o'clock. So let's jump in here. And if you're watching along to this and we're doing our grades, like throw your grades in the chat. We'll share them on the screen here. I really want to get a sense of what you guys think about how successful these players are doing, how successful the coaching staff is doing. So as we go from group to group, feel free to chime in. But let's start with the catching group. Tyler, do you want to start with catchers?
Yeah, that'll work.
Okay. You want to go
Should
first
I
or
give
me?
my? Yeah, I can go ahead and give my grade first on this one.
Okay. Yeah, let's do it.
So the catching group, I don't know if we thought it was going to be a strength of this team at all, and to this point, it has not been. I think Andy Rodriguez has kind of saved them a little bit. We did see Henry Davis have a really nice day today. But with all that being said, mix Joey Barton there as well, who's been traded. I'm giving him a D. I
Okay.
think they've been terrible. Like, I don't have many positive things to say, and the only thing keeping them from being an F to me is Andy Rodriguez coming up and playing pretty good baseball. They're a D to me.
Okay. All right. I see the logic there. I think for me, I would put them at an F or a D, but Andy sort of saved the day here. Just some quick numbers. They are 16th right now in Major League Baseball in WAR, the catcher group. They're 12th in Major League Baseball in weighted runs created plus at 92. So like they're as a unit, they've been slightly below average offensively. And again, like this is mostly saved by what Andy Rodriguez has done in the last, 7-ish weeks or so. So my grade, had it not been for Endy, this would be bad. Like this position group is terrible. Henry Davis has made no progression whatsoever. He had a good game today, but like overall, Henry's been bad. Bart was bad. But Endy saves the group, and I'm going to go with a C here. I think Endy has done enough to kind of propel them into like they're an average catching group right now for the year. And I think they've got the potential where if Endy can continue this, like they could get even better. So I'm going with a C. Just to go through the chat here. Nate C minus. Zach C minus. We've got Pierogies in that C. Yinzer D plus. Cody C. Yeah, that's what's kind of what we're showing here. Is
I,
who
I,
we're
I just think
I just
C's
got
a
a
touch
unit grade
high.
there. Bucko Mike with a D minus. I think that might be a little harsh. Bucko Kamish here with a D plus. So I think we're all kind of around that same like C to D range. There's another one C plus. But they've been underwhelming, that's for sure. But like they have been god awful, and it's just because Andy.
Yeah, I mean, they were negative .1 WAR without Endy, with Joey Barton, Henry Davis, and
Yeah.
Endy's played 28 games this year. That's not even half of the games. So going forward, I have some higher hopes for them, I think, throughout the rest of the year because of Endy and what he's done. But just based on the midway point and what they've done, I think they're a below average group.
Yeah. I mean, numbers say they're average, right? They're 12th offensively, 16th and more. That's about as average as you can get. So I'm willing to give them the C.
Fair
Um,
enough.
all right, infielders. This is I think it's kind of a tale of two halves here. If you look at the right
Mhm.
side of the infield, they've been just incredible. Um, First base positions at a 123 weighted runs created plus. Second base is at 124. They have the third highest weighted runs created plus among second basemen in the league. Brandon Lau's been awesome. Spencer Horwitz has been awesome. Third base, even with Nick Gonzalez there, like the 12th best offensive third baseman so far this year. Shortstop 21st. I think a lot of that just has to do with Jared Triolo getting a lot of playing time there. Um, Connor Griffin's been good. Gonzalez has been fine. I'm going with a B here. I think I'd go B plus if it hadn't been for this Connor Griffin injury that he's missed 3.5 weeks. I think someone's kind of agreeing with me in the comments here. Like that has forced them to play Jared Triolo a whole lot more than I'm comfortable with. And Triolo's been awful. He's been awful. So I'm going with a B as a group, carried by Lau and Horwitz with that left side. Kind of average, when it's full strength, but when it's not full strength, it's kind of subpar.
I'm completely with you. I'm giving them a B. And really, the only thing keeping them from an A is the fact that Jared Triolo has had to play so much and have to play so much at shortstop, where there's just not nearly as much defensive value. Not to mention his bat is just he's swinging a pool noodle. It's bad. So
Yeah.
Jared Triolo kind of keeps him out of that A territory. I also think Nick Gonzalez's defense kind of throws a wet towel on some things, but he's still been good enough that if he's your worst infielder, and he should be with Connor Griffin back,
Hmm.
that's a pretty good group right there. Brandon Lau, obviously, and Spencer Horwitz, just really strong first halves of this season.
Yeah. I mean, I've been, you can't ask for more out of, Brandon Lau or Horwitz really. But like third base specifically though, like last year, Pirates third baseman, Tyler had a 57 weighted runs created plus. It was worst in baseball and it wasn't even close. This year it's 97. Like it's based like they've got league average hitters that they're trotting out at third base, and they're 12th in baseball in hitting over there. It's been a big improvement, and then like I said, the injection of Lau in this lineup has been huge. Just to get to a few of the comments here, we've got a B from Zach. We've got a B plus from your captain, Bucko Mike with a B. Bucko Mike giving out B's. Look at
Ooh,
that. New York Yinzer B, but Triolo gets an F. Nate B minus. Progies B minus. Oh, Nate's changing out, going back to the B minus there. Nick with a C, I think. Bucko Kamish A minus. A lot of that has to do with Lau. So I think most hovering in that B territory, but like I said, you can make an argument for going a little bit higher. It's been a good group.
I mean,
So
they could still have Cabrian Hayes in this 10 weighted runs created plus playing third base. So
yeah, that would. Good God, that would be terrible.
it'd be right.
Um, all right, outfield. Let's go there. This is and we'll start with you here, but go ahead. This is my most
Yeah,
impressive group.
I'm with you. I mean, it's probably the strength here. I'm giving them an A minus, and the only reason they're getting A minus is just because the corner outfield spots are not terrific defensively. That just
Okay.
keeps them out of that A to A plus territory. At the plate, they've been unreal. I mean, O'Neal Cruz, we know what he is defensively. Brian Reynolds, we know what he is defensively. O'Hearn's been kind of a pleasant surprise out there and right, but he's still not a plus defender by any stretch. Mangum's kind of held his own a decent bit, some ups and downs there, but I'm giving him an A minus. There's still some room to grow, I think, though. I mean, they're definitely the strength of this team right now, and I didn't think I'd ever say that.
Yeah. I'm even going higher. I mean, you look at the outfield numbers specifically. They're third in baseball in hitting. 121 weighted runs created plus as a group, like the outfield. 121 weighted runs created plus. They are the sixth highest WAR in Major League Baseball at 4.4 FWAR, just an outfield group. This is just as outfielders. So like when Reynolds is DHing, he's not even counting towards these numbers. Like this is a really solid group right now. There are not many outfielders producing like this in Major League Baseball. I'm giving them just a straight up A, Tyler. Like they've been great. O'Neal Cruz is having a great year. Jake Mangum, when called upon here these last few weeks, like Jake Mangum's hitting 400 in the last month. Like he's kind of really stepped it up. He does some dumb things every now and then, but he's holding his own. O'Hearn's been solid. Brian Reynolds having the year of his life, right? Yeah, I'm giving these guys an A in the outfield. They are, in my opinion, they've been the most productive group that we're going to go through here. So,
Yeah, that's fair.
yeah, some comments here. We got an A minus. We've got a B plus, borderline A minus, B plus, B plus. We got an A plus. Would be an A if Cruz stayed healthy. A minus from Mike. A and
Mike throwing around the good
B.
grades.
Yeah, I mean it's a really, again, they're the third best offensive outfield in baseball. You look at the other two, it's Cubs, Yankees, Pirates. That's top three.
Just how we drew it up.
Yeah. All right. Let's shift over to pitching here for a bit. We're gonna break it between starting, rotation, and bullpen. I think I have an idea of how this is gonna go, but actually no, hold on. Before we go to pitching, designated hitter, Tyler.
Yeah.
Forgot
is a
about
thought, I
designated
guess.
hitter. The Pirates signed a designated hitter over the offseason for $12 million who can't even crack the lineup when Spencer Horwitz, Connor Griffin, and O'Neal Cruz are all on the IL. As a position, the Pirates designated hitter spot has an 84 weighted runs created plus. That's good for 22nd in baseball. I'm going with an F here because they dedicated a lot of resources to this spot. I'm grading it on a curve a little bit because it needed to be it needs to be a lot higher than this. It's an F for me, Tyler.
I've been going back and forth here between like a D minus and an F. And you know what? I'm going to give them an F plus.
F
They're not
plus. All right.
They're not
okay.
quite a full on F. And that's just because of days that Marcell Ozuna is not in the lineup.
Yeah.
They're not terrible.
That's
But
true.
yeah,
You're right.
I'm with you though. Like you kind of have to grade this on a curve. They committed $12 million of payroll to the DH position, and they've gotten absolutely nothing out of it. It probably should be an F, but just because those days that Marcell Ozuna is not in the lineup, which is more often than not anymore, I'll give him a little bit of a plus.
Okay. All right.
F
plus. I don't know if that's a thing, but we'll count it. We'll go ahead. We'll go with it. Let's see here. Just some comments. Nate, he's going with an F. He said he would go with a G minus if he could. Yinzer is just a minus, just not even a letter. Zach, D minus. D minus. F. D. F plus is fair. You got a nice little F plus there is fair.
Cap.
So and then here's another D. Yeah, I don't know, man. The D's, that seems too high for me. That seems too high. All right, pitching. Starting pitchers. Tyler, what do you got?
I'm gonna also grade them on a curve.
I agree.
I'm gonna
grading
give
them on a little curve too.
And I'm grading them on a curve in the way that I expected more out of them. They're still a top 10 staff in baseball, so I'll give them a B minus here.
Okay.
That might be a little high on them, but Braxton Ashcraft's been so good. Paul Skeens is still a sub 3 ERA. Mitch Keller not having the season we expected is really hurting this grade, I think. And Jerry Jones maybe not be coming back as strong as we had hoped, but he's still been fine. It's still early in the process. I'll give him a B minus. Any normal, like if this was last year, I might have given him like a B plus with the same results here,
Okay.
just because it wasn't expected. This year, I expected an A. It hasn't been an A.
Yeah, I'm with you. Like they haven't been as good as they've needed to be, right? Um, but you look at the overall numbers; they're ninth in staff ERA. Like the starting rotation is a 3.93 earned run average. That's ninth best in baseball. They're fifth in WAR. They're but like you look at the negatives, they're 16th in innings pitched. And when we get to this next group, maybe a few more innings here and there could contribute to a few more wins. And at the end of the day, like wins are what matters, right? I know we're talking about starting pitcher wins here, but Pirates starting pitchers are 19th in baseball in wins, Tyler. And like I know you can look at all the other stuff, but this starting pitching staff was supposed to win you baseball games, and they're not really doing it right now. So I'm gonna be a little harsher than you. You went B minus. I'm going with a C plus here. Like they've been good. They've been fine, but they have not been good enough. They've not been good enough. So I'm going C plus. Just going through a few comments here. We got a B minus. We got a C plus. We got a B minus, C, B plus, B minus, B, a disappointing B. Nate's breaking his up. You can't do that, Nate. There's a whole group. And then we got a C plus. So
We're all on
yeah,
the same
I
page.
think we're kind of all in that same range. Like we're a little underwhelmed.
Yeah. Disappointing, but still not bad.
It's passable.
Right.
They're not losing games because of these guys, but they're
C's
also
get
not
degrees,
winning games
baby.
because of them either.
C's get degrees. I got a diploma to show it.
C's gets you one game over 500, I guess.
Yeah.
Which brings us to the bullpen. Tyler, 4.37 earned run average, 19th in baseball. 19th in win probability added. They're 18th in WAR, but these are the two numbers I'm going to throw out here for you. They've got 15 blown saves. That's tied for fifth in baseball. And then this is the kicker. 66.8% left on base percentage by the bullpen. They are letting inherited runners score. They aren't getting out of jams. That number is third worst in Major League Baseball. This bullpen, when they allow base runners, they come in to score at the third highest rate in Major League Baseball. And when you're playing in close games like they are and you're relying on them like they are, it's leading to losses. It's leading. I mean, how many more games would this team have in the bag if this bullpen was just average across the board? It'd be probably at least 5.
Mm-hmm.
And then you're talking about you're squarely in the wild card right now. I'm going F. Like this is an F. They're not the worst bullpen I've ever seen, but they fail to get the job done when they need to. And that's what matters.
You know when you don't turn the work in school and the teacher just gives you a 0? That's it.
Yeah.
That's his bullpen. It's an F with a 0 grade. You get 0 points. It's been awful. I'm with you. They would have probably 5 more wins if they had a competent bullpen. And you're probably sitting pretty comfortably second in the NL Central with, a little bit of wiggle room there.
Yeah.
They've been atrocious. They've been plain and simple god awful. And it's not just that they're not the most talented group, because there is some talent here and some guys that you expected some things from.
Mm-hmm.
But they're underachieving as well. Like they're not talented and they're underachieving. I don't know how you can do that, but they're doing it.
So 2 Fs.
I give them a 0. They didn't turn their work in.
Incomplete.
Incomplete. No, they're not getting an incomplete. That
Did
lets them
not
off the hook.
finish. Yeah. Getting to some of your all's grades. We got an F minus. That's the first F minus I think of the day. D plus, D minus, D minus, D, F plus, D minus, D. Man, we got someone with a C minus. Doug with an F, as in F off. Zach with a D minus. Yeah, so you know what? I'm surprised with the D's.
I am too.
I expected more Fs. I
I
it is the worst part of this team. So it's the
that's a group
single biggest worst part of this team. So
that's a group I didn't even have to think about a grade for. It was an F.
yeah. All right, and then real quick because we've got somebody waiting on our next segment, but coaching staff.
They're sitting one game above 500. It's been ups and downs. Pitching staff has underachieved. I think hitting wise, they've overachieved to this point. So that kind of evens out a little bit. I'm just going to give them a flat out C. I think they're just an average group right now.
Yeah.
It's just plain simple
I
C.
was this was tough for me because I feel like they haven't like it's hard to really know what effect the coaching staff has on a team anyways. Um but like the fundamentals still aren't there, but like is that really on the coaching staff? Like these are adults. Like you learn fundamentals in little league. Like at some point the players just have to know which base to run to, right? Like like what are we doing here? But then also like there are little things and we're going to get to this. Like the ABS is a piece of this and why I'm kind of dinging this coaching staff a little bit because it seems like whatever strategies they're doing like it's just not working. And yeah, they're one game over 500, but they should be higher. Like I think we all agree that like this team, especially with the way this offense is rolling, they should be higher than one game over. You're going C, I'm going D plus. Like it's not like these guys haven't failed completely, but I don't think I think they've done a good job of like making sure that this team is like always in it and they're trying, but like I'm just not seeing the little things being done well. That's the thing I'd never see this team do. So I'm going with a D plus. Just some other ones here. Seems like the C's are going to take this one. We got a C.
Yeah.
We got a C. We got a C. We got a C plus. We got a D plus. We got a C. Got a B minus. C plus. C. An F. So yeah, it's I think everyone's pretty much just like
Yeah.
they're kind of average.
Yeah, it's just a meh.
Yeah. All right. Last one, then we'll get to our next segment here. Front office. I'll start. I thought the front office did a really. I mean, this is basically Ben here, right? But did a great job of reconstructing this lineup. I can't say enough good things about this offense. Going for like, I was not expecting them to go from like 27th to 5th. I was hoping to go from like 27th to 12th. You know, somewhere in that range. But they've gone from 27th to like 5th. The problem is that they completely failed on the Ozuna front. And that has led to some issues because, you know, whatever they did there, they didn't go out there and they went out there and acquired one relief pitcher. One. And they were like, we're going to trot out an entire bullpen of guys who have been DFA'd 4 times each. Like that's essentially what their strategy was. And it has backfired immensely. So in my opinion, this season, it's playoffs or bust. If the Pirates don't make the playoffs this year, the front, like Ben Cherington, the Ben Cherington regime should be over. And right now, if the season ended today, they wouldn't be in the playoffs. So I cannot give this front office a good grade right now as things stand. So I'm going with a D plus just because I think there's still like it's not maybe all on them, like, but they did not do a good job of constructing a full team this year that was going to go to the playoffs. And yeah, I'm being a little harsh here, but I'm going D plus.
I thought I was going to be harsh here by going with like a C minus. But like I can fully agree with you on it being a D plus, and the reason being that I think he did a good, like you said, a good job of reconstructing the lineup. But also, all the issues that are here right now are issues that you could see right in front of your face coming into this year. Like the bullpen was a problem. Also, I think you have to tie in that you're seeing the lack of depth kind of pop up here. And like that's because Ben Cherington didn't acquire any useful hitters over his last, I don't even know how many years we're into this bad boy,
7.
but way too long.
Yeah.
There's no hitters here. And when O'Neal Cruz goes down, you have to call up a Tyler Callahan who, yes, he's played okay, but like you don't
Single-handedly won a
have,
game. Yeah, but you're right.
he did, but like Jared Trill is playing shortstop every day because you just refuse to sign anybody who can play shortstop.
Mm-hmm.
It was Connor Griffin or bust. There was no backup plan for anything. You came into this year with hopes and prayers that Isaac Mattson would continue to just throw a 92-mile-an-hour fastball past everybody and lock up the 7th and 8th inning, and Dennis Santana would continue to just dope his way through an entire season. It was a better offseason, wasn't good enough, and they had to spend so much money on the lineup that there wasn't really much wiggle room anywhere else because there's no depth here because he just failed for so long.
Yeah.
So it probably should be a D plus.
So what are you going with?
I'll give him a C. I'll give him a C minus. Just because Brandon Lau exists and they signed Connor Griffin, but also I should knock him for this whole Carmen Mlodzinski thing, but that's a song for another time.
This one has the most volatility, it looks like, in the comments, because we got a B plus, we got a C minus, we got an A, we got a C, we got a B minus, we got a C plus, we got a C, A minus, B, and then Doug gives us an A plus, Tyler.
That's the only grade I care about.
Yeah, there you go. All right. Well, I think so far it's like it's a mixed bag. There's some that have been really good. There's some that have been bad. There's some that have been average. It's exactly what you would expect from a 41-40 team. I think there's room for improvements on some of these. I also think there's maybe some regression candidates that are kind of thrown in the mix here too. So we'll see. But yeah, I think to add before we kind of move to our next segment.
It all adds up to a 500 team.
All adds up to a 500 team. Yep, it really does. All right. We're going to hear from Cody real quick, and then we're going to bring Alex on, and we're going to talk some ABS. And why are the Pirates so freaking terrible at it?
This episode is brought to you by IQ Bar, our exclusive snack hydration sponsor. IQ Bar protein bars, IQ Mix hydration mixes, and IQ Joe mushroom coffees are the delicious, low-sugar, brain and body fuel you need to win your day. The Ultimate Sampler Pack is a great way for you to try all IQ Bar products and flavors. You get 9 IQ bars, 8 IQ Mix sticks, and 4 IQ Joe sticks. All IQ Bar products are clean label certified and entirely free from gluten, dairy, soy, GMOs, and artificial ingredients. With over 20,000 5-star reviews and counting, more people than ever are fueling their lifestyles with IQ Bar's brain and body boosting bars, hydration mixes, and mushroom coffees. The Ultimate Sampler Pack includes all 3. My personal favorites so far have been the almond butter chip and the iced tea lemonade hydration mix. It's just really full of flavor. I love starting my day with it, and I couldn't imagine starting my day with anything else other than IQ Bar products. Right now, IQ Bar is offering our podcast listeners 20% off all IQ Bar products, including the Ultimate Sampler Pack, plus free shipping. To get your 20% off, text MLB to 64,000. That's MLB 64000. Message and data rates may apply. See terms for details.
All right. Let's bring on from the Book Roll Bucks Substack and the daily morning podcast right here on North Shore 9 Offbeat. Alex Stumpf, how you doing? Sorry for making you wait a little bit there.
Oh, good. I do have an issue with not everyone. There are too many F pluses in those grades.
Too many F pluses.
There was fully like commit to an F. Nobody cares if you got a 59%. It's still an F.
I'm with you. I didn't give out any.
Yeah.
That was Tyler.
I saw at least 2. F pluses.
Yeah.
Comment
The
section.
comments, I think, had a couple F pluses. Yeah.
Yeah.
So Alex hopping on here. And again, if you don't already, make sure you're subscribed to Alex's Substack. It's Book Roll Bucks. And then make sure you're checking out his daily podcast too. But I want to talk about the ABS system here, Alex, because it's new. It's the first time that it's been in the majors. It's like it is something. It is a skill, right? It's a skill. It's something that teams are using to their advantage and or disadvantage. And the Pirates are a team who should be looking and trying to cut corners and, win an extra at bat, win an extra run here and there. And this is a new thing that they're just terrible at. I mean, they're awful at it. And so before we kind of dive in here, I just want to share the numbers, right? Like let's kind of look at what it actually looks like with the Pirates ABS challenge system compared to everybody else. First off, when it comes to hitting, when the Pirates are batting, they have a 38% win rate on challenges. They are 32 for 84. That's the second worst win percentage in baseball, only behind the Atlanta Braves. If you look at how many times they've challenged right up there. It's in like the top 10. But if you look at how many they've won, it's one of the worst. It's seventh worst in baseball. And that all contributes to just an awful winning percentage. All right. Well, but when they're pitching, you've got Henry Davis back there, Joey Bart, Andy Rodriguez. Well, the Pirates have won the least amount of challenges out of any defensive team. They are 29 for 63. They have a win percentage of 46%. That is the worst in baseball. So they are the second worst team in baseball at challenging when they are hitting, and they are the worst team in baseball when they are challenging as fielders. And what that ends up coming up to is they have the least amount of overturns of any team in the major leagues. They've got less than half of what Derek Shelton's Twins have, Alex. 61 total overturns for the year. And the cool thing you can do here is the net runs that this has contributed to, negative 4.2 net runs. In I don't know how you get a 0.2 run, but this is how they're doing it. But overall, it's been bad. It's been pretty bad, Alex. And I wanted to bring you on here because you're around this team. You're in the clubhouse. You're talking to coaches. You're talking to players, and I don't know. Like, what is this team's strategy when it comes to ABS?
I don't know if there's like a mission statement that I could give there, but this is something that they have been cognizant about. They had drills that we weren't privy to see the previous homestand to try to address it, to get a better feel for the strike zone, or when to challenge, I guess would be the better way of saying it. But it is striking for me because, okay, Oneil Cruz, he's someone who has chased a lot in his career. He's also really tall, and umpires have always had a different viewpoint of what the bottom of his strike zone would be. I get why he doesn't grade well in this. Like, it's just a bad recipe. But then you have someone like Spencer Horwitz, who always has a walk rate over 10%, was in the 80th percentile in chases last year. So someone who does know the strike zone, and he somehow has a worse ranking in these challenges than Oneil Cruz. Like,
just to kind of reiterate that, Spencer Horwitz is 3 for 11 in challenges.
It's like negative 6.2 expected. So not only whenever he challenges, he's not doing it well, like what they deem reasonable challenges, he's not taking that shot.
Mm-hmm.
And that strikes me. Andy Rodriguez, we're seeing him, the walk rate's way up there this year. He's always been a good pitch framer. You think, okay, he knows the strike zone, and he's just not getting those overturns behind the plate. It's something that I don't know if is like a sound the alarm type of issue right now, but it's enough that, yeah, that extra work they were doing that last homestand, I think that was a good thing to address, because if every other team is taking better advantage of this than you, regardless of what it is in the game, you have to look at how do you close that gap.
Yeah. I mean, just to throw out a few here. Ono Cruz is 1 for 6. 1 for 6. Ryan O'Hearn 7 for 14, right at 50%. Brian Reynolds is 8 for 15, a little bit. Brian Reynolds is pretty much like the best on the team right now. We already talked about Horwitz. Ozuna 7 for 15. I figured he would be worse. Nick Gonzalez 2 for 7. And yeah, catching wise, Henry Davis is certainly the best, but like he's like right at 50%. He's 17 for 15, 17 for 35. Andy Rodriguez as a catcher, 5 for 15.
Yeah.
Like he's challenged. That's terrible. Like you're sitting right there behind the plate, Andy.
He's drawn a ton of walks as a hitter. He's always been a good pitch framer, and he doesn't know the strike zone. Like, what's really going on here? So it's puzzling. And one of the things that I don't know if that's showing as well, pitching. The Pirates have had only 7 balls turn into strike 3, and that's the fewest in baseball. They've spared themselves only 3 walks, which is the 5th fewest in baseball. So not only not getting the calls, whenever they do get the calls, at least on the catching side, they haven't been the most impactful. They're not finishing at bats. They're not giving you another chance by preventing a walk. I think that's the bigger issue with it. And I get flipping a count mid at bat is huge. Like if it's a 1-1 count, if it goes to 2-1, the league is batting .337 with a .567 slug. If it goes to 1-2, it's a .154 batting average and a .233 slug. So that's a huge call right there. That only, I think, further cements the point of you can't be this far behind the rest of the league in really anything that's semi-controllable. This seems like a part of the game that is controllable, and they're just not doing well at it.
Do you think we're going to get to a point where, and I'm kind of just spitballing here, like, are we going to more challenge, I guess, in and out, because it seems to be, at least like as a hitter, I feel like you can judge that a little bit better rather than up and down. Like, is there going to be maybe an emphasis on what you're looking to challenge, whether it's going to be in and out or up and like maybe we just don't worry about up and down. We just go, if it's off the plate, that's what we're looking to challenge. I don't know.
Maybe. I don't think you can, it's not like hitting where you're going up there. It's like, I'm looking for something high and tight right now. I'm just looking for something to drive. You have to know the whole strike zone. And maybe that's a baby step to help get them more back on track. But as it stands right now, like this is an issue. This is an issue where you had that chart up there. The Rockies have what, 9.8 runs through challenges? That's
the
a
Rockies
whole
are the
win.
best team. Yeah.
10 wins of run differential is a win. 10 runs scored, that's a whole extra game the Colorado Rockies have won. And everyone in Denver is celebrating that they're not going to lose 120 games again this year because of it. But this is like a real impact. This is something that could have, right now the Pirates are on pace to lose an extra game than they otherwise would have. It's not a good pace to be on.
No. And listen, I guess what I'm curious on is, like, going into the season, was there any sort of like that you know of, like, was there any sort of strategy to this? Was it just like, hey, if you think the umpire is wrong, just go for it? Or was there more, choose your moments?
I mean, I think you have to be cognizant of the moment. Like if you burn one early in the second inning, and then the next one is you're 99% sure that it's gone. It's like, well, you can't burn twice in the same at bat. You have to be mindful of that. I think was it Baltimore early in the year that they challenged a ball in the ninth inning that they shouldn't have, and then they couldn't challenge what would have been like a strike 3 to
Yeah, that
Nick
was
York,
Nick
and Nick
York.
York gets the walk-off hit. Like, you have to
Yeah.
be mindful of how many challenges you have, especially in the first 9 innings. But at the same time, I think it was Esmeralyn Valdez yesterday in a late inning at bat. There's a ball that, from my vantage point, it looked like it was a ball, but they called it a strike, and he didn't challenge. And it's like, it's the 6th, 7th inning. You have the 2 challenges still. You can take that shot. I want the rookie to take that shot right there, and he didn't. Obviously, it didn't make a difference in the game, but
Yeah.
it was enough to be. I think they could do a better job communicating of it's okay to take risks. It's okay to make these shots. Take an aggressive swing.
Unless you're
I'm all-
Marcell Ozuna.
I cannot believe he is not the worst on it. I don't know if
I can't either.
I don't know
Yeah,
if I've
that's
witnessed
true.
with my own 2 eyes him get a call overturned. I don't question the validity of it. I'm sure there were some. I guess I just wasn't watching baseball that night.
Yeah, I guess the good piece of this I'm taking from is it does seem like it's something that they're obviously aware of. They are doing things to try to make it better. But yeah, I'm curious on just how much of this is like a confidence thing too. Like, if once you blow so many, it's like, do you want to just keep going until you're right? Because I mean, if you're Endy right now, like, do you have any idea like what a strike is? And because it's just not working out very well. And you would think that with somebody like Endy, he's had a lot of experience with this. Like, it's been in the minors for years, and like you would think that the younger guys would be almost a lot more comfortable with it. And I'm not really noticing anyone excelling with it outside Brian Reynolds. I feel like Brian Reynolds has used it pretty well. And I feel like there was like a stretch of games there where like he was turning strikeouts into walks and strike twos into ball fours, and like he was using it. Brian Reynolds has been the most impressive, I guess, when it comes to using the ABS, just from my eyes. But yeah, it's something they need to get better at, because again, like, these are real outcomes that come out of this. You said the numbers there. Like, the difference between a 1-2 count and a 2-1 count is huge. It's a big difference, and they're just not taking advantage of those little things that other teams are taking advantage of.
Got to add on real quick. I think Rhino Hearn also has done a real good job with these challenges, and I think he's been aggressive with it. Like, off the top of my head, I think he has the most challenges on the team, which I don't think a lot of hitters or veteran hitters have. Like, I think Brandon Lau's only done 1 this whole year. So I don't fault him for just being like, I'm going to play ball like I always play ball. You guys deal with that. At the end of the day, losing a challenge, the only detriment is you lose potential opportunity to challenge later in the game. This is, at the end of the day, only a net positive for your team for what you can control. Like, if the other team keeps challenging and keeps getting overturns, well, that's out of your control right there. But it's still runs. It's still strikeouts. It's still walks. It's still getting a 2-1 count instead of a 1-2. In 2013, like, whenever they went all in on pitch framing with Russell Martin, it was to control counts, to get those extra strikes. And here we are 13 years later, and this is kind of another way to get extra strikes or prevent bad strikes and give you a better chance to hit. They just haven't seemed to be on the upswing as much this time around.
Yeah. Well, you got anything else to add to this one, Tyler?
No, I'm just kind of staring at this list now and in annoyance. And
Rhino Hearn 7 for 14, by the way.
yeah, he is. And all I
50%.
keep thinking about is the amount of times I've seen Spencer Horwitz challenge a pitch that is just completely in the zone. I do wonder, like,
Horwitz is bad. He's been bad. Yeah.
I do.
Which makes no sense. He knows the strike zone. He doesn't.
Yeah,
walks
it's
more
weird
than he
when, like, the
strikes
good
out.
hitters are bad at it. It doesn't. It's hard for me to understand that.
I do wonder, and I can't really figure out how to work Savant well enough. I'm curious where the Pirates rank in terms of like innings that they challenge, like how often they challenge early in a game and how whether that hurts them at all. And then maybe you're a little bit more hesitant as the game goes on to challenge a pitch that might be a ball or a strike. I can't figure out how to work Savant in that way, but
to your point, it does seem like there are a few times where they'll challenge something in the first inning. It won't get overturned, and they're down a challenge right away.
yeah, and then
it's also a situation where it was Marcell Ozuna challenging the first pitch of an at bat in the first inning with like nobody on base, or in the second inning with nobody on base, and you're like, oh God, yeah.
And that does all in the first inning. Like in the second inning, it becomes that ball that you probably would have challenged if you're 90% sure. Well, you gotta be 99% sure. So maybe that does factor in, but they, in terms of like raw challenges, like I think they're 11th. Okay, I thought they were a little higher, but that's still a better, more than average in terms of like number of challenges they've done as hitters.
Yeah,
so it's not like
they're one of the top
using them.
teams in doing it. They're just not successful at it. Yeah, it's
Jake Mangum.
It's infuriating. Oh.
It's just one of those little things, and I know last year's early season field rallying cry was winning in the margins, but this is one of those things.
This is literally the margins.
It is the margins.
They are not winning in the literal margins of the strike zone, Alex. All right. Midseason grade for offbeat though, A+. I'm going to say A+.
Thank you.
If you haven't made that part of your morning routine, make sure you do. If you listen to us, make sure you're listening to Alex. If you watch us, make sure you watch him. It's just outstanding stuff every day. It's 15 minutes, easy to consume. It's always good information. It's good stuff.
I think the trend bars is going up for it.
Oh yeah,
like the rolling 15 game average, 15
Yes.
podcast average.
Bucko Mike gives you a C+ because he says it's not long enough.
You know what? I know a Bucko Mike C+ is a lot of people's A-, so I'll take it.
Yeah, a C+ from Bucko Mike's really good. I don't know if I've ever gotten a C+ from Bucko
You know what?
Mike.
And also him saying it's not long enough is a good thing. He wants more Alex.
Nobody wants more Alex.
We all want more Alex.
All right, man. Again, subscribe to Book Roll Bucks Substack. Check out Offbeat every single morning, Monday through Friday. Appreciate you hopping on with us, Alex. We're gonna go check out our preseason predictions now and see who is smarter than whom. Who is smarter than whom? You're the journalist here, is that right?
I'm gonna get out of this stream before I.
All right, we'll catch you later. We'll see you tomorrow morning.
See you tomorrow.
All right, Tyler.
How hard was it to say Offbeat instead of our pet name?
Offbeat. Yeah. No, good stuff as always. I think the interesting part there for me is like at least they're like well aware that this is a problem, and hopefully they can figure something out to kind of course correct, because the first half of the year they were awful at ABS challenging, and they got to do better at it now. They have to do. It's one of those little things that this team can do better.
It's like when the Steelers are committing too many penalties and Mike Tomlin brings in the whippy old refs to clean it up. That's what the Pirates have to do right now. That's what they're doing. Yeah. They're bringing the jumbotron out and
yeah.
I figure it out somehow.
I'm curious on how you like practice that too, because I mean, you would think as hitters you would just know the zone, but apparently you don't all the time.
I mean, I did see at one point like the Pirates throw harder than anybody really in baseball.
I saw that too. Like, but that would be affecting the catchers. Yeah.
Right. And I mean, Endy's one of the worst at it, but
yeah.
I don't know. Hopefully it improves.
You know who else is one of the worst? DiNardo. So let's before the season started, we did some predictions for the year. And with this being the halfway point, I wanted to just get like a pulse check on how we're doing. So you've got a list of all of our questions that we went through, and we'll go through this pretty quickly, but I'm curious on how well we're doing with our predictions right now. So do we want to roll through this just real quick?
Yeah, we'll roll through this real quick here. You started our over-unders with the Brandon Lau question that you continue to bring up there, Jim. Brandon Lau, 24.5 home runs. DiNardo and I both took the under. I think we're going to be wrong on that one
I
there,
think you're
Jim.
going to be wrong on that one. Yeah. He just hit his 19th today. So, yeah, he's going to roll right past that number.
Yeah, he's been quite good. I don't know if we really need to dig too deep into that
no,
one.
we don't. We don't. Like that
No.
one is going poorly for both of you. Yeah,
Yeah,
so that's good for me. Yeah.
That's a failure.
Yeah.
Is what it is. DiNardo, his question or his first question was the over-under of, and of course he tried to cheat on this entire thing.
He did.
Over-under O'Neal Cruz, 25 home runs and 25 stolen bases.
Okay. I feel good about that. I think I went over.
We both went over on that.
Yeah, I mean, even with the injury, he's at 14 and 21 right now. So he's pacing to go over that quite nicely. So I'm going to give us both a point on that one, Tyler. So
Yeah, I think we're in.
For a point.
Now, granted, I think we were probably pretty close on an over-under last year on O'Neal Cruz, and then he just stopped hitting for 3 months.
Yeah, I think we're going to be okay, though. We'll be all right.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah.
My first question had to do with the mayor, Jake Mangum, and I set the number at 115.5 hits. Both of you went under on that.
We're looking good. He's at 50 hits right now. So he's pacing for 100.
You know what? He's getting more playing time now, so we'll see what happens.
We'll see. But I'm going to go ahead and give DiNardo and I a point for at least being pacing there. That would be 65 more hits.
Yeah. I mean, hey, we could have a couple of 4 or 5 hit games. Why not? Come on, Mayor.
We could.
Jim, you just boned us here.
I know. I crushed you guys.
Paul Skeens, you set his over-under of ERA at 2.245. DiNardo and I both went under. It will take a lot of scoreless innings to get there.
Yeah, he's at 2.86 right now. You guys laughed at me when I gave you that number.
Yeah.
You laughed.
Completely laughed.
2.25. Like that's an incredible year. If Paul Skeens at a 2.25 ERA right now, I think people would probably still be complaining. But no, I feel pretty good that I'm going to keep you guys off the board for that one.
Yeah, that one, like I said, it's going to take a lot of innings without giving up a run.
Now, let me get this out. I hope you both get a point here, and that Skeens just goes on some generational run this second half. But it is going to have to be an insane run. He's going to have to get like a 1.4 ERA from this point forward. 1.5.
DiNardo set the number at 5.5 here, and I believe the question was position groups with a 100 weighted runs created plus or above.
Okay.
I took the over. You took the under on that.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's going to be a close one.
Yeah, you know what? I can just do it real quick. So, not catcher. First base, yes. Second base, yes. Shortstop, no. Third base, no. Right field, yes. Center field, yes. Left field, yes. DH, no. So that's 5.
That's it.
5. First base, second base, and then all the outfield. It's 5.
We'll see. We'll see.
So as of right now, I get a point.
We'll see.
Yeah.
A lot of baseball left.
A lot of baseball left. You're right. Connor Griffin could get that shortstop spot up. And I mean, if Nick Gonzalez keeps hitting, who knows?
Yeah, you never know there. This next one's just stupid. Well, yeah, it's stupid. I basically asked, is Jared Jones going to hit 100?
Yes.
We're good on that. Both of you went over.
Yeah.
At the time,
a silly question.
I was curious. Yeah, that was silly.
That was a silly question. You're not looking good on this, Tyler.
I'm not. This is rough for me. Trust me, I was putting this together and I was not a fan of my picks. I'm not a fan of my next pick either. You asked this one. Bubba Chandler to be in the top 3 Rookie of the Year voting. I don't know why I said yes to this. I think I was just trying to be different than Donardo here.
You were being positive on this show, if I remember correctly.
I've
You're being
never
real
been positive about Bubba Chandler. And for
I
some
know.
reason that night, I just wanted to be.
Yeah, this is looking bad for you. All right, what's next?
Man, that's a bad one.
Yeah.
Donardo asked, and here's one where I have to give you some credit, Jim. I'll tell the question. Braxton Ashcraft, ERA higher or lower than Bubba's? We both went that he would have an ERA of under that. Do you remember your words?
I think I said he was going to get Cy Young votes.
That's exactly what you said.
That is what I said.
I think we're on our way to.
I think he's going to. Yeah,
we're on our way.
Also, congratulations for pacing for a second point.
Thank you, Dick. Oh boy, this one's my question here. Henry Davis over under a 219.5 batting average.
Yeah, I think we both went under there, and we're looking good there. Yeah,
it's gonna take quite a bit.
Yeah, it's not happening. It's not happening.
You know what though? This was preseason. The Hopium was alive. Probably should have given him a 119.5 over under.
He's at 136. 148 after today.
148, yes. It went up 12 points today.
Good.
Hey, just like 18 more games of that, and we're at our number.
That's true. If he just hits 10 more homers and 10 more doubles over the next 10 games, you're probably looking good.
Here's another toughie for me here, Jim. And it's your question. Connor Griffin before or after May 1st? I said it would be after.
That was a silly answer for you. That was silly.
It's the Pirates. I've been burnt way too often by them. Donardo did say it would be before then. Here's one where we both look good, though. Dennis Santana, whip of 0.999. We both went over on that one. Be sweet to be wrong there.
Yeah, I wish I was wrong. It's currently at 1.47. So I think we basically clinched it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, shout out. Looks like the U.S. men's national team just scored super quick.
There we go.
There you go.
My question, I had to ask Gregory Soto. Over under a 3.795 ERA. You and Donardo were split on that. You said under. Donardo said over. We're currently sitting under. That could change quick.
Let's go.
That one's still up in the air.
It is up in the air, but it's looking good. It's looking good. He looks good this year.
Your stupid ass question. Over under 4.5 box.
I think we're at 2.
I think we are at 2.
Pittsburgh Pirates are at 3 box.
3.
They're pacing for 6.
Donardo and I both went under on that.
Yeah. All right. That one's going to come down to the wire.
It will. We're going to get a balk to make it 5 on the last game of the year.
That's going to be great.
Our 14th question and Donardo's question was the over-under of Don Kelly ejections. He set the bar at 5.5. I think you said you were going to set it at 3.5 if you would have asked the question. Where exactly are we now? I can't remember.
We're at 2.
We're only at 2?
Yeah.
Donardo went high on that one. I actually went over on that, but you never know. It's Don Kelly. It could take.
You never know. It could come in spurts. Yeah, but he's only at 2 right now. There's been a few games where I thought he was going to get ejected and they didn't. But yeah, he's at 2, I think.
There's at least one instance where he should have been ejected, and they just let him ride. And then Jim,
actually, he might. No, I think
feel like he's at 3.
I think he's at 2. I think he's at 2.
We have a counter, but I don't. It's too hard to find. he would be at 2 or 3 sounds right. I don't know the exact number off the top of my head. I probably
Yeah.
should check that.
Okay, he's been ejected 3 times.
3? Okay.
Yep.
So we're
And what was
pacing
the number?
5.5.
Okay, so he's pacing for it then.
There we go.
I'm
I'm
gonna
on
give you
pace
a
to win
point
that
there.
one.
Yeah, I'm gonna give you a point.
And then we wrap it up with my question. Over under 2.5 per Manny Brothers sandwich wins for my dad. And naturally, your father won today.
I think we both went under there too.
You guys did go under on that. He has not won yet.
Yeah. And I think Ty's dad is, he's at 0. So, okay. Was that the last question?
That was the last question.
All right. So I wanted to do this exercise because really I just wanted to see how much better I was than you guys. Because Tyler, you're at 4. You're pacing for 4 points. Donardo's pacing for 6. I'm pacing for 9.
Things can change.
Let me count that right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, 9.
Things can change.
Man, crushing it. Crushing it.
No,
There's still plenty of baseball though. Plenty of baseball. It could switch. I don't know if you're going to win. I think you might be too far behind. But no, I'm feeling pretty good. Your dad with the comment. He's being blackballed.
I think there might have been a comment in there when we did these of your dad saying this was rigged.
Yeah.
Because my dad kept winning.
Now look, he's won.
He's got 2 this year, I think.
I think he does have 2, which is he was complaining for a year that he'd never won before, and now he's got 2 wins.
Our dads were strategizing how to put the comments in at the tailgate.
Yeah. They're trying to figure out the best way to do it. All right. What were our win totals? I think I was high. I was highest.
You were high. I was at 83. Let me pull that back up real quick here.
You're pacing nicely for that.
I had us at 80. Let's see here.
You had 83. Donardo had 84, and I had 87. So
Donardo just had to take 1 more than me.
Yeah. I mean, I think all 3 of those numbers are still in play.
Yeah. I think we're all in play there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Pirates go on a run and you're sitting pretty.
Yeah. Well, once the Pirates sweep the Reds this weekend,
fair,
they're going to be looking pretty good. Yeah.
For sure.
All right. Let's wrap this thing up. Before we do, I want to talk about the CBA just a little bit. And then, we'll get you guys over to the soccer game. But Major League Baseball met with the Players Association today. And yeah, just some interesting things out of it that I wanted to just bring up, because as Pirates fans, a lot of these things that got introduced today, I feel like, if you're a fan of the Pirates and you're a fan of a future salary cap, you got to like kind of what you heard today. If you're a fan of the Players Association, maybe not so much, but just to outline some things here that they propose. So Major League Baseball is offering earlier free agency for some players. So they're saying that, if you reach 5 years of service and you are at least 30 years old, you'd become a free agent after the 5th year, not the 6th year. So you get to hit free agency a year earlier if you're over 30. Major League Baseball says that would affect approximately 48% of 5-year players under the current agreement would reach free agency a year earlier. A total of 354 players would benefit from this. And this would begin year 1, no phase in, like it would be like immediately. So that's kind of interesting because, being able to hit free agency a year earlier, especially when you're a little bit older, I feel like that's a win for the players. So like you can kind of see the owners are just really digging in on a salary cap, and so they're like, okay, what can we give the players to make this something that isn't just like a complete sweep for them. But that was one thing. Another thing that they proposed was a raise in minimum salaries from $780,000 to $1 million with players with at least 2 years of service. And then anybody with fewer than 2 years would also reach $1 million, but it would be a $900,000 salary plus a $100,000 service bonus. And that would affect 57% of 40-man roster players in 2026. So you're offering what essentially is a 25% ish raise to players, like pre-arb players. They're also proposing a bigger pre-arb pool, going from 50 to 65 million. That eventually grows to 75 million. So it's giving those pre-arb players an opportunity to get more money. And ending the qualifying offer, which has been something that the Players Association, I think, has been wanting for a while, because once you kind of get tagged with that, it makes it a little more difficult to sign as a free agent somewhere else. So I don't know. What are your thoughts on just? It seems like those are the things that Major League Baseball is like, hey, we're going to give these to you.
We're having a lockout, aren't we?
I think we are. Yeah.
Yeah, it becomes a little bit more apparent day by day. In general, I would say like most of the time I think I'm on the side of the labor here, and I would be completely with the players and getting more revenue and making their money, everything like that. But in this case, I'm a Pirates fan, so I'm in a weird spot where I got to root for the owners to win this thing so that the Pirates can hopefully win some baseball games and at least have a chance to do something.
Yeah.
I don't know. This whole thing just kind of sucks, and it's a battle that has to happen. Because
Yeah.
if they can't keep going this way.
The Players Association response to pretty much all of this, and there's more in here too that we'll talk about that I do really like. But the Players Association response to all of this is essentially none of this matters to us because it comes attached with a salary cap. And that is essentially a no-go zone whatsoever. So like the Players Association is looking at these things and they're saying, you know what, none of this matters to us anyways, because it would come with a cap system. So that's kind of the pushback here is, it's still obviously having that, and the owners do seem really dug in on that. I will say this, like one thing in here that I thought was kind of cool. And if you're familiar with the NBA, and I'll admit I'm not an NBA fan. But there's a rule in there that essentially allows you to sign homegrown talent, and you're able to offer that player more money than they could get if they were to hit free agency or go somewhere else, right? So this is something that I find interesting, especially for the Pirates, because one of the biggest issues that we've had as Pirates fans is we can't keep our talent, right? Like once they get good, like the Garrett Coles of the world, and even going back to like the Barry Bondses of the world, right? Like you've got these guys where once they hit free agency, they just hit this whole other stratosphere of earning potential that it makes it really difficult for the Pirates to hit and keep up with teams like the Yankees and the Dodgers, right? But with this rule, it would, and it comes with the added revenue sharing, so the Pirates have to spend money anyways. But with this rule, it's called the cornerstone player system. It allows the team who has the player, the current player, they're able to offer them one additional year than anyone else could. Like if they were to hit the market, they can offer them a higher maximum salary. And if they're doing this before they hit free agency, they can sign them to longer deals. Because another part of this is capping deals at 5 years, Tyler. So like avoiding those 10, 11, 12-year mega contracts. But if it's your player, you can sign your player to a 12-year deal, right? If you're signing them super early, you can sign them to a 10-year deal if you're signing them super early. So it kind of gives these teams who have homegrown talent a leg up and saying, hey, you know what? I'm going to offer you this contract. And if you don't accept it, You can't get it anywhere else. Like, we're the only team who can offer you this big and large of a contract. So it makes it exciting for me as a Pirates fan, because, like, let's face it, if this goes through, you're offering this to Paul Skeens day one, right? Like, day one, Paul Skeens
Right.
gets a salary offer that no other team would be capable of offering him if he were to just say, I'm going to wait for free agency. So this is the piece of this proposal that, as just a fan of a small market team, and I've seen too many stars just leave this team and go elsewhere, this is a cool rule, because it's like, hey, you got to spend the money anyways. And now you're able to offer your star players something that no one else can offer them. It's a cool rule, in my opinion.
Yeah, I'd be curious how they would work that out. In the NBA, it's the bird rights.
Yep.
And in the NBA, you can trade those bird rights. So that's just another little interesting piece. I don't know if the MLB would do that as well. So if you're traded during that first contract, whoever acquires you has your bird rights as well. Curious how that would work out, but I don't. It just feels like no matter what way this thing goes, they're just so far apart on it, and that salary cap's going to be such a hard line.
I mean, that's the issue, right? Is like all of this, like, yeah, like this is a cool thing, but it comes with a cap system, and the players are just they are not going to even negotiate anything that includes that. At least not right now.
Right, but at the very least here, the status quo is not going to work. It can't work that much longer. It can't remain the same. Because what happens in 10 years? If this continues, the Dodgers are going to have $1 billion payroll. There's going to be so much separation. It's not even going to be a sport anymore. So some of these things starting to lean to the point where we're just not getting that salary cap. It's not going to happen. But can we maybe get a few of those things in here that might bump up the playing field for some small market teams? And like, I don't need everybody in here yelling at me about Bob Nutting being rich. I know, but it is what it is.
Yep.
This is going to continue to separate as long as the status quo remains.
Let's say I don't think this is heading towards something that we're gonna really like as fans when it comes to next year. Like, the more and more I read about what's going on and what the owners are saying and what the players are saying, I do not think there's going to be baseball next year. Like, the players are not going to negotiate with the cap, and it seems like the owners are like, this is the first time in my life where the owners are like, they're lockstep in this right now. Like, it seems like they're dug in and this is what they want. And if it means losing a year of baseball, like, that's what they'll do. Like, I think they'll do it. So I don't know. I'm not really excited to see what's on the horizon in terms of like a lack of baseball being played next year. But I mean, as a Pirates fan, you've got to like where this is heading. I mean, you have to, right? Like, it just, everything that's being proposed in these things directly benefits the Pittsburgh Pirates.
If the NHL didn't do what they did, we probably wouldn't have hockey here anymore.
Yeah. Oh, we wouldn't. There would be no hockey in Pittsburgh if there was no salary cap. They would have left. Yeah.
Can we at least like take away the Dodgers Sweetheart TV deal? That's step one. Let's get rid of that.
Yeah. I bet, like, again, that's what this is all about, right? Is like giving everybody the same amount of money to work with, leveling the playing field. And then it's just a matter of, how much better are you at constructing a team than your opponent? Right now, there is that, but there is like, you're naive to say that there's not a difference between the way that the Pirates can operate and the way that the Dodgers can operate, right? So just something to think about. I've always kind of been pro player on here and like never really wanted to talk about a salary cap, but I don't know. the Dodgers win their third World Series in a row, and it just seems like this is like, what's the point anymore? I'm beginning to kind of shift a little bit more towards, you know what, let's do something that helps us out. It would make being a Pirates fan, I think, a little bit more enjoyable.
Yeah. I would like to be able to keep A. Paul Skeens if possible.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, this is the nail on the head. Like, I understand the reason why the owners aren't doing this. The reason the owners are doing this is because franchise values aren't going up. Like, I understand what's going on here, but the byproduct of this also is a little bit more competitive balance. If that's a byproduct, then, you know, whatever. I'm a fan of the Pittsburgh Pirates, and I don't really care if the team's values are going extraordinarily high, as long as I get to see competitive baseball at this point. So I get it. It's definitely like the players union is like the one last, they're the last remaining sports union out there where they've avoided this up to this point, and I don't think they're going to avoid it anymore.
No. It's going to be an interesting offseason, Jim.
Yeah. All right. Well, I think we're done.
Yeah, we're done till tomorrow, at least, where the Pirates play the Reds with Paul Skeens on the mound, and they are favored at minus 220. Heavy favorites tomorrow, according to FanDuel. Minus 220 for your Buccos.
Big favorites.
I believe it's you and me on the post game tomorrow as of now.
I think that's right. Yeah, you and I. Yep. Another Jim and that's 3 Jim and tie shows in 3 days.
Then
might be too much. People might get really bored of us.
Yeah, people are probably tired of us. At least me.
All right. If you haven't yet, download the North Shore 9 app. It's on the Google Play Store. It is on the Apple App Store. It is incredible. Make sure you're playing around with that a little bit. It's just like the first iteration of it. There'll be a new update coming soon, but it's pretty awesome. Also, check out our new website, northshore9.com. It is also really, really cool, especially if you're like into the minor league stuff. Like, play around where it says Buccos HQ. Play around in there. Lots of cool stuff. And then the app and the website are all connected. You log in. It's the same login for both. It's a pretty cool experience. So, yeah, check that out.
Yep, come join the community. You can chat with us all the time, basically.
100%.
Back at him tomorrow.
Offbeat tomorrow morning. Post-game show tomorrow evening. Pirates, Reds this weekend. Coming off a series win against the Mariners. Second half of the season starts tomorrow. Let's get a win. Let's win this series. Let's have a 4-2 homestand. Or hey, you know what? Let's just sweep the Reds. Make it even better.
It's a great time to start a run.
It's a great time. All right, guys. Appreciate everybody who was watching tonight. Like the video, subscribe to the page. If you're listening, leave a comment, tell a friend, share the podcast with a buddy of yours. If they're Pirates fans and they're not watching or listening to North Shore 9, like, what are they doing? Like, what are they doing with their lives? So share the podcast with your friends, and then you can talk about all the stupid stuff we say to your buddies.
That's a lot of it.
And a lot of it. Yeah. All right, guys. Have a good night. We'll see you tomorrow. Go Bucks.
Scouts.
All right, that wraps up this episode of North Shore 9. Thanks so much for tuning in, whether you're listening on the podcast or catching us on YouTube. If you enjoyed the show, please give this video a thumbs up, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. It really helps us grow. And if you're listening on the podcast, a quick review goes a long way in helping others find the show. Plus, be sure to tell a friend about us. There's always room for more here in the NS9 community. And for those looking to support us a little more, consider joining our Patreon, become an MVP member, and get exclusive perks while helping us continue to bring you more of the Pirates content you love. Thanks again for all your support, and let's go Bucks.